Sarah Boone in action in the courtroom. She's now representing herself. The last time we saw Sarah Boone in the courtroom was when she appeared with her former attorney, Patricia Cashman, and she had some complaints about her, basically saying that Patricia Cashman is a liar, and the judge was trying to talk it out with Sarah Boone a little bit, but at the same time calling her out for her nonsense. Now, that was the last time we saw her. Since then, we did see the 58-page letter that she wrote about Patricia Cashman complaining about her, and also a lot of condescending definitions she was giving to the judge as if he didn't know any legal shit. Sarah Boone. And then our most recent letter from Sarah Boone. Oh, I forgot. No, sorry. When she was defining those words, I feel like it was so condescending, it was like passive aggressive, but she was praising the judge at that time. However, when the judge forfeited Sarah Boone's right to have a public attorney, because, you know, she's been having a lot of issues with them, her 8th attorney has already quit on her. Since she's had so many issues, the judge is like, you know what? You forfeited your right. Okay. So now represent yourself. Sarah Boone found out about that and she was pissed. That was the last letter that we read. When things don't go her way, she gets angry. When she doesn't get to manipulate people, what does she do? She turns against them with the vitriolic attacks, the personal attacks. And so now we finally get to see Sarah Boone in court, lawyerless, and it's just her. She's representing herself. So let's get into the courtroom, guys. I mean, a lot of you guys were like, I want Sarah Boone to represent herself. And I'm like, I don't know about that. It's gonna be a hot mess. But let's see what happens in the courtroom. Oh boy.
Mr. Cacciatore.
Dave Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Ms. Boone, good morning. Could you please raise your right hand so Madam Clerk can swear you in?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you should give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ma'am, good morning. Can you state your name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
We also have a representative from Prison Break Investigations. Sir, if you could come forward, please.
So if you guys are familiar with Prison Break Investigations, I remember reading this from Sarah Boone's letter. I think she had a PI or has a PI that she's working with. The company's called Prison Break Investigations, and she was getting very, very frustrated that this PI was trying to get a hold of Frank Bankowitz. That was attorney number 6, I believe, was trying to get a hold of Frank Bankowitz, trying to give him some information. And for some reason, Bankowitz was either, I don't know, per Sarah Boone, she said that Bankowitz was ignoring him. So that's what I recognize this name from.
If you could, sir, raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you should give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, sir, good morning. Could you state your name for the record?
Billy Lane.
And Mr. Lane, what's your affiliation with Prison Break Investigations?
I'm the owner and chief investigator for
Okay, very good. The reason the court had this hearing this morning is the court has found that Ms. Boone has forfeited her right to counsel and waived her right to counsel alternatively by virtue of her conduct in this case. As such,
By virtue of her conduct. Now, it's Sarah Boone. It's not her fault. It's everyone else's fault. Everyone is against her. The judge is against her. The system is corrupt. The attorneys, they won't listen to her. They won't meet with her. Poor, poor Sarah Boone.
Ms. Boone is currently representing herself. The court has been working diligently to provide you.
Oh, and also the last update, in her previous email or previous letter, she made an ad asking for any attorneys out there who are willing to represent her. Pro bono, I'm assuming. So I'm assuming no one has stepped forward yet. Maybe someone will. We'll see.
The discovery. I received your letter, ma'am, and I have reviewed it. We have not forgotten about you. It's just taken some time in order to coordinate the appropriate processes with the jail. In conversations with the jail,
Oh, that's right. So I did think that she might have a legitimate argument where she said that she has not had access to her discovery material. There's apparently 2 discovery bins that Patricia Cashman was supposed to give to her, but she didn't get them yet, according to her letter. And I think, if I remember correctly, the judge said that any pretrial motions, it has to be filed by, it was like July 22nd or something. And I was like, she didn't get her discovery stuff yet? How is she going to file her pretrial motions? I don't know. So the judge is like, Sarah Boone, read your letter. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten you. Here's what happened. So, I think this judge seems very fair.
time in order to coordinate the appropriate processes with the jail. In conversations with the jail, a laptop has been secured and will
Okay.
be issued to you after USB drives are provided with all the discovery. Upon the jail's receipt of those items, the following provisions will be adhered to.
Oh, so maybe what they also had to do was, in addition to getting the coordination with the jail, they probably had to scan everything in from the physical bins, I'm assuming, and then copy them onto a USB drive, blah, 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 blah. So maybe that's why it's taking some time, taking a bit.
The laptop, charging cable, and USB devices will be kept in the FDC main control room when not in use. At no time will the charging cord be placed in the housing unit. Upon the return of the laptop to the FDC main control, the laptop will be placed on the charging cable to ensure it is available for the next day's usage. The laptop and USB device is to be accounted for with the control room inventory. The control room DST or CO will make logbook entries for the issuing and returning the USB device.
Now, what I want to know is how many hours in a day would she have access to the laptop? Because, you know, if you're your own attorney, you're going to have to dedicate a lot of hours to researching and stuff. How does that work?
And laptop. The dorm officer will make logbook entries for the receiving and returning of these items to the applicable movement officer. A notebook entry will be completed in IMS for every issuance of the laptop and USB device to inmate Boone. The laptop and USB device will be available daily to you, Ms. Boone, between 0800 and 1600 hours.
Okay, not bad. Was that 8 hours right there? 8 to 4?
A notebook entry will be completed in IMS for every issuance of the laptop and USB device to yourself, Ms. Boone. The discovery was provided at the
Wait, is she gonna have limited access to the internet, or is she gonna be on? Is she gonna be able to go on YouTube and stuff like that? How does that work out? I mean, I'm sure she has access to like the legal stuff, maybe through like other like libraries. I don't know, because I feel like you would need full access to the internet.
court previously and is in the two bankers boxes that are in front of the court to your left, Mr. Lane. I'm going to order you, sir, to take possession and custody of that discovery that was provided to the court previously on June 28, 2024. You, through prison break investigation, shall copy all of the discovery onto as many USB dump drives as necessary. The Judicial Administration Commission for the state of Florida shall be responsible for the fees and costs due to prison break investigations for copying all of the discovery onto as many USB jump drives as necessary. You will appear for a hearing with the court on August 1st, 2024 at 8:45 in courtroom 12.
August 1st, 2024. Okay, we're getting some dates. August 1st, 2024. Oy, oy, oy. Let me write that down.
A of the Orange County Courthouse with the discovery and all USB jump drives containing the discovery. A representative from the Orange County Jail shall also appear for that hearing as well. At that point in time, Prison Break Investigation shall hand deliver all USB jump drives containing the discovery to the representative from the Orange County Jail in order to be placed onto the laptop that is currently secured and to be issued to the defendant for all trial and court preparation. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I have a conflict for August 1st, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, come on, we gotta get this moving. What is this conflict? Let's get the ball rolling. I want her to have her trial.
I'm supposed to be out of state from Tuesday until Friday of next week, which I believe was in conference August 1st for my son.
Oh, wait, that's actually like August 1st is like next week.
Okay, well, congratulations. When do you return from your son's wedding, sir?
I will be back late Friday evening, so I'll be available the following week.
Okay, will you be able to complete that task by that time?
Yes, sir, I'll do my best.
Okay, sir, we will see you on give me a second, I want to make sure I get the date right. Monday, August 5 at 8:45. Okay, you'll be given a copy of the order that I just read from. Ms. Boone, you'll also be given a copy of the order. Do you have any questions for me?
I am thoroughly confused. Was a notice ever put online for this or mailed to anyone? I don't even know why Mr. Lane is here. I don't know why I'm here.
Well, ma'am, you are now representing yourself, and previously you had requested to appear at every hearing that was held. As you are now representing yourself, the court cannot have any hearings regarding your case without you being here. I put on the record and explained to you the process that the court has had with communications with the jail. I'm not allowed to look at any of that. I'm not allowed to copy any of that. So in speaking with the jail and understanding that you still have a private investigator that was provided to you through the state that's being compensated by the state.
Oh, okay. I thought she hired them herself. Okay, gotcha.
You're still allowed to utilize his services. The protections of the attorney-client privilege are still applicable to him, so he's able to review any of these documents, ensure that they are safely copied without violating any.
Oh man, if Sarah Boone is already confused after the judge spent all that time explaining everything, I don't know how she's gonna do in trial. Because she's like, did I get a notice that this was gonna happen? Why am I here? Why is he here? It's like, Sarah, the judge is like helping you out right here, as he should. He's explaining to you why the discoveries have been delayed. I don't know if they're delayed or not, but what the process is going to be, what's going to happen to those discoveries. She's going to have access to a laptop. The hours that she's going to have access. Like, she's getting so much information from this hearing.
Terms of the privileges. Those will then be placed on multiple USB drives and provided to you.
Maybe she'll have some clarifying questions as to why she's like super confused.
USB drives will then be uploaded to a computer that has been secured for you at the jail for you to access all of that information.
That's I don't know. Something tells me she doesn't look happy. I thought this would make her happy. The judge is like hearing her out. The judge is getting everything sorted out. She's like, no, I'm actually going to have a trial date. The one that I've been trying to delay forever. I was kidding. Okay. Am I kidding? Maybe not.
Okay. My question is, was a notice of hearing posted or mailed to anyone to where apparently the news crews obviously got it? How is it that I do not know anything about this other than my bunk being kicked at 3 o'clock in the morning telling me I have court?
Ma'am, I have no other way to get in touch with you other than setting the hearing, which was set yesterday once I received confirmation from the jail as to the processes for how this would work. And I understand that your case is important, and I want to move as efficiently, as diligently as possible. I know that you've been waiting for this information, and it took some time to confirm the process with the jail. You've advised me that you have very limited space, you have almost no privacy, you have a small drawer where you can keep some personal effects. We could not send all of those boxes with you to the jail, and the jail advised me that they cannot take all those boxes. A process had to be created to make sure, and this is the process.
Oh, it's not me.
The process that I was explained after speaking to a couple of sergeants, and I've been waiting for that, and I would much rather prefer a hard copy of these to where I can write on them as opposed to anything that's on a laptop.
Oh gosh, just wants to be really difficult. First of all, maybe you shouldn't write on them. Maybe it's better to have a clean copy so you're not writing all over it, or maybe have a notepad so you can take note. Sorry, is it just I like writing things down too, but you can easily solve that by just having a notebook and just writing your notes on there maybe, and then having a clean copy that's untouched. Is she just being difficult, or am I being difficult?
Unable to provide that for you. I have been provided the process has been provided to me by the Orange County Jail.
You're gonna have to talk to the jail supervisor then, Sarah. You gotta escalate that.
I understand that's your preference, but I can't do anything more than what I've done right now.
I understand. And I have had other information given to me, which is why I've been waiting for the boxes for them. So I don't know, is this something that I need to pursue continuously still for me to be able to receive my hard copies? Because no one tells me anything.
I cannot answer that question because that may call for me providing you legal advice, which I am prohibited from doing.
Okay. Well, because I have no other way of contacting you other than in a letter, and it's AKA worldwide. So am I supposed to go back and speak to the captain and whoever else it is that I might need to speak to in order to receive these?
Again, I cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that we will have a hearing on August 5, whereby which Prison Break Investigations will provide all of the information on USB drives. Those will be provided to a representative from the Orange County Jail who will place all that information on a laptop for you to use, and that's accessible for your use from 0800 to 1600 every day.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of sucks being in prison. Kind of sucks not being able to be free and then having access to whatever you want. It kind of sucks, having to be in this prison cell where everything is controlled by everyone else around you. Like the prison rules, the court rules. It's like, oh, you can't just have access to all this, because if you're a free person, things will be a lot easier. But yeah, when you're in prison, it seems like things could be kind of a headache.
Okay, so I guess I will figure that out, because if I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't utilize the laptop, which is another reason why I was looking forward to the hard copies. So my other question is my time prorated for the time that I've been waiting for my discovery?
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
Well,
Wait, is she asking if she's going to get compensated by the state for being an attorney for herself? Is that what she's asking?
will I be having additional time added, or will it be extended from the time period of me waiting for my discovery still?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm like, wait a second. When I think of prorated, I'm thinking of like, okay, like money paid. Okay, sorry. She's not talking about that. I'm the one who's getting confused. Okay, gotcha. So she's saying that there's all this time that I've been waiting for my discovery. So let's say that's like 200 hours. Does that mean that in addition to 8 to 4 that she already has, she wants more extra time on that because she's wasted a month plus of not getting the discovery? Is that what she's talking about? Because the judge has already made it clear that she's only going to have the laptop materials from 8 to 4.
I'm not in a position to answer that question. I don't know what it is that you're asking for.
My pretrial is supposedly set for September 24th, I believe it is. So obviously I will not be prepared, and obviously I do not know what I'm doing, and obviously I'm still waiting for my discovery. So for that time...
You know what? I think that's one of the truthful things she's ever said. Obviously, I do not know what I'm doing. Yeah, maybe it would have worked in your favor had you not maybe pissed off so many other previous attorneys. Ay, ay, ay.
And obviously I do not know what I'm doing, and obviously I'm still waiting for my discovery. So for that time period that I have been waiting for almost 4 weeks now, will that be added to the time frame in order for me to be properly prepared?
As of right
Yep, that's what she's asking. So she's saying that you're giving me 8 to 4, but you need to extend that because my time should be prorated for the time that I've been waiting 1 month to get those discovery. Oh gosh, Jesus.
And obviously I do not know what I'm doing, and obviously I'm still waiting for my discovery. So for that time period that I have been waiting...
I think the best answer that the judge can give that would just be, instead of having her case management on September 24th, they would just extend that day out and then probably push up the trial date.
For almost 4 weeks now, will that be added to the time frame in order for me to be properly prepared?
As of right now, the dates are what the dates are, ma'am.
Okay, so I just missed a month.
The dates are what the dates are.
So I also
Can she ask for a continuance?
sent you, I believe, 5 motions. Have you received those?
No, ma'am, I have not.
They were mailed last week.
Then I have not received them yet. The last correspondence I got from you, ma'am, was received on July 8th.
Okay. 5 motions I've mailed. They're probably sitting wherever else it is, considering it takes a day for you all to receive my mail, considering I'm right down the street from you all. So I have those also in order, which may change whatever information or anything that I'm trying to acquire in between now, the month less that I have in order to prepare for my trial. That's in October. So if you could keep an eye out for those also. I don't know who I'm supposed to ask. How did Mr. Lane come into any of this? Like, how was he called?
Mr. Lane has been your investigator in this case, and he was advised to attend this morning's hearing by virtue.
Wait, I thought she was aware of this guy. Because I could have sworn in her letter she was pissed off at Frank Bankowitz for not meeting up or not having communications with a PI from it was like a silly name like Jailbreakers or whatever it's called. I thought she already knew about this. She was trying to get him in contact with Bankowitz, or is that a different company?
Of being provided in this case, and
What's he called?
Mr. Lane has been your investigator in this case, and he was advised to attend this morning's hearing by virtue of being provided the discovery in order to digitize it so that you can have access to it.
The court contacted him?
I did not contact him.
Am I allowed to speak to him directly?
You can.
He said you could.
Mr. Lane, who contacted you in order for you to be here, please?
The JA contacted me.
If I'm pro se and my own attorney, shouldn't I be included in all of this so I know what's going on and not a surprise hearing like it is again for the second time?
Ma'am, again, this is why there were benefits to being represented by counsel. The court has already identified in its 16-page order the reasons for why you no longer have those benefits.
Yikes.
Right, which
It
is
makes things
malformed.
exceptionally more difficult, as I explained to you, in communicating with the court and communicating with the state attorney's office.
Isn't that what it
And of course, we can imagine that because Sarah Boone, you're in prison. That makes things way harder.
certificate of services for anything that's filed by anybody in the court?
There
That
was,
should be included in that.
ma'am, there was no certificate of service for setting this for today. This was coordinated by the JA. You were advised as soon as it was set yesterday.
It's just very odd to me that the news knew about it before I did.
Again, I can't speak to that.
And so nonetheless, my constitutional right to counsel is being forfeited on your behalf in the court. So now I don't get appropriate notice in preparation for me to be able to be here and doing what I'm supposed to be doing and act as and perform as?
I've already addressed the reasons, ma'am, for why there was a forfeiture and alternatively a waiver in the 16-page order that you were provided. Again, it's difficult to communicate with you based on where your current housing is. I'm not able to pick up the phone. The judicial assistant's not able to pick up the phone to communicate with you or send you an email to schedule certain things. And it leaves a little bit of a level of further complication.
How is it the news knows before I do?
You keep asking the same question, and the answer is going to be the same. I cannot.
They probably have inside people with people who work from the courthouse that just like lets them know. Or, you know, they probably reach out like, okay, like, you know, let me know if there's any other Sarah Boone news. That way we can set for cameras, blah, blah, blah. Like they probably like, just have like just inside people that just knows about this.
Answer that question for you because I do not know.
Okay, but you do know it's harder for me.
I would agree with that, yes.
And you do know that you did not ask me any questions in regards to your order. You just read it straight off and never asked me what's what or how many with anything of it.
Ma'am, if you have questions, I can certainly try to answer them. I'm trying to facilitate you getting that information that you're certainly entitled to, and it took.
Yeah, see, that's why I really want her to have an attorney. But you know what? I get why people probably don't want to work for her. But this is basically like a sample. It's like a little tasting of how the trial is going to be. It's going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of like time wasted, just going back and forth like this, back and forth, back and forth. That's why I'm just like, you know what? I hope she gets representation. I hope she does. But I can understand if, you know, no one wants to put their name out there to represent her.
Took time for a process to be created by the Orange
Might
County
be a necessary headache, you know?
Jail. As they had advised me, they do not have a place to store 2 bankers' boxes of information, nor are they in a position to provide you physical copies. This is what I've been advised as the process is. As soon as that process was finalized, I set the hearing. This was finalized yesterday.
No one ever asks me. I've been waiting for the boxes. I really don't know what to say, and because I supposedly have no way to contact you other than a letter, and the same for you, I don't know how the news crews got here before I did. But I don't know, going forward, how is it that I'm supposed to be able to communicate with you other than me sitting here in front of you at these, I guess, supposed surprise hearings that I'm going to have every single
Yeah, I was wondering why this hearing was so long. I was like, I figured this would have been like a really short hearing. Now we know why it's 18 minutes long.
time that it is. But I don't know, going forward, how is it that I'm supposed to be able to communicate with you other than me sitting here in front of you at these, I guess, supposed surprise hearings that I'm going to have every single time that it is that you would like to speak to me? Is that what it's going to be?
Ma'am, I cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that you can communicate with the court through the avenues that you've been utilizing previously by and through letter writing. As I said, I do not have your letters that you sent last week. They're not in the court file, and they were not in my inbox yesterday. So as soon as I receive them, I will diligently review them, and if we have to set a hearing, you'll be properly noticed for it.
In this receipt?
I guess like couldn't there be a better system where the JA who coordinate the private investigator to be there, couldn't they somehow just get in contact with, you know, where Sarah Boone is at, the prison, and be like, oh, hey, you have a hearing tomorrow, FYI. This is who's going to be there. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess that process to me sounds like it might be simple, but it could be really hard to get the communication through, especially when someone's an inmate at a prison. And the hearing was set like the day before, so that's like super last minute. I don't know.
Certificate of service.
You'll be properly noticed for it, yes, ma'am.
And will there be a proper notice for today?
Notice was performed last night. I've already explained.
Ask the news crews how they got here?
No, ma'am, I'm not going to let you do that. They're not under oath. They're not a party to this action right now.
It's wrong and it's unfair.
You're certainly entitled to that opinion.
Am I allowed to ask him a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Lane, how is it that you and I are supposed to be speaking to one another?
So my suggestion.
Oh, God, Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, that delayed response. He's like, great, this is the person I have to deal with, probably. You know, Mr. Lane, he's about to be going to his first son's wedding next week, you know, trying to celebrate life, enjoy his life. And then he's like, oh, man, going back to work and having to deal with Sarah Boone. Fun. Very fun.
Speaking to one another.
But it is a legitimate question, though. I think it's a legitimate question.
Lane, how is it that you and I are supposed to be speaking to one another?
So my suggestion would be, since you're now the attorney and you're a pro se, that either you or your honor gives me access to the jail to come visit with you, and I will be happy to do that. It is the policy of the Orange County Jail to have a letter representing from an attorney to allow me to access you. That's the reason for the past previous couple of attorneys I thought had the ability to come out and access you, but that's changed. And I'll be happy to continue to move forward with any investigative actions I can do for your defense, as long as I get their access.
So you need a letter from me,
Or the judge, or the jail, somebody that will allow me access to you. Yes, ma'am.
and I send it to you directly?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a letter also that you'll be supplying to him?
I don't know that I'm in a position to compel the Orange County Jail to do anything.
But you all are the ones who contacted him.
But I can't tell the jail, let this person come talk to you. If they have a policy where you need to provide the letter, then you need to provide the letter.
So until you have that letter, you and I will not be able to speak with one another?
I will contact the jail myself and find out if there's an extension from pro se, or maybe they can speak to you directly to circumvent the actual letter itself.
Thank you.
God, sounds like a fucking headache.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
I don't think you have enough time. I'm just doing my best, and if you could please keep an eye out for my motions.
I will be on the lookout for them. You said there were 5, correct?
Yes.
I will
If
be
you
on.
could please include me on the certificate of service for whatever hearings that we have that are no longer a surprise for me, please.
Understood. You'll be given a copy of the court's order that I read momentarily, and I will see you both on August 5 at 8:45 in the morning. All right, thank you all very much. Mr. Cacciatore, anything further, sir?
Nothing from the state.
All right, thank you.
Oh, fucking Mr. State. Okay, well, luckily for you guys, I will edit it so it's not going to be blasting in your ears. Oh my God. You know, it's interesting. We haven't really heard too much from Mr. Cacciatore. Mr. Cacciatore is, he's a state. So he's just sitting back, watching all the drama unfold, all the attorneys coming in and out, in and out, in and out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Oh, wait, before you leave, that is all going to be yours. Yes, I would, sir, so that you can begin the digitization process. All right, I'll see you on the 5th.
Oh, wait, she does have pink handcuffs.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yes. Ma'am, I'm just.
I hear someone whispering.
Sir, can you just hang out for a second so I can give you a copy of the order? Thank you.
Who's the blue nails lady? I can't lip read. I'm sorry, guys. Is the camera supposed to be panning in this close to her? So, how's everyone's day going? What are our thoughts about that hearing? Anyone watching the ballerina trial? Sorry, I'm acting like I'm doing a live stream and you guys are actually going to respond back to me. Was that...
Prison break investigation.
Oh, okay. Sitting right here. Is this the state then? Is that Mr. Cacciatore? Or is Mr. Cacciatore over here? Because that's who was talking to Sarah Boone at the end of the video. Could be the state. Not sure. All right, y'all. Well, that's Sarah Boone right there. We'll have a hearing on August 5th. And you know what? I hope we get the ball rolling. But like I said, if she's going to represent herself in trial, it's going to be a lot of that going on. So what happened today, it's going to be a lot of like back and forth. Why this? Why that? Unfair? La, 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 la. Oh, boy. So the trial will probably be a lot longer than it needs to be. I didn't watch the DV trial, but when he represented himself and I saw the clippets and the highlights of it, it was pretty fucking bad. So I'm expecting it to be pretty bad for this one as well if Sarah Boone's going to represent herself. But I'm glad that this judge, seems to be moving along everything, taking Sarah Boone's, taking her concerns seriously and then getting her all the discovery stuff and explaining to her why there's been a delay and all that stuff. So I like this judge. He seems really cool, super polite, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in a different live stream. Bye, guys. Good night.